podcast. How the hell is everybody doing? It's NFL Week 2. I know I did pretty bad. I lost money, but I won. I won one league, so that was good.
Yeah.
I'm 2
How
for
about
3.
you guys? 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
How about you, Rocky?
Nice.
No, I was actually 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
500.
I didn't hear you. What?
Fuck this season. It's over. I can't wait till the end of the year.
The Bears won.
The Bears.
The Bears did win, yeah. Bears won and looked good.
Yeah, man. They looked
good.
They did. They did look really good.
It was a cool celebration at the end of the game.
Yeah,
That was.
Justin Fields, he definitely surprised me. He was able to go through his progressions.
Surprised me.
That
Yeah,
one.
where did he go to college at? Where did
he's-
Justin Fields go?
He's finally going to turn that shit program for quarterbacks around.
It's a shit program.
Where'd you go to college, Rocky? Not Ohio State?
I did not go to Ohio State. Okay. That's true. I wasn't probably smart enough to get in. I got to be honest.
I agree.
He went to a Ohio State school, community college.
Did you?
No.
That's an acronym.
For the challenge.
Where'd you go?
I went to a small college outside of Atlanta
Shot him out.
called Berry College.
Wow.
Vikings.
Called Big
Home of the Vikings.
called
Bar-
Big,
the Berry Vikings?
Berry with a E.
Very adequate.
Berry with an E. Yeah.
Big Jim Junior College.
So you were saying it is
Gone to
your
Big Jim.
anniversary today? Is that correct?
Well,
date-anniversary.
our date-anniversary.
What you got cooking?
We already we hit the old we hit the lunch slate today. Little
Okay.
Rocco's tacos in the gullet, and then a little nap afterwards.
So you said you hit the lunch lady.
Are we like nap in air quotes or are we?
Yep.
A nap and then a
Oh no,
nap.
that's why he's trying to get out of here now to nap.
double nap.
He's going for a double header.
Yeah.
You don't
Maybe.
got that in the tank, do you?
Oh man, I got all kinds of stuff in the tank. I got crazy tricks.
All right, so what about Eagles won?
They did. Go
Browns
Birds.
won? Giants
won. Listen, this is a 4. Yeah.
This might be the only
I was
time
gonna
this
say,
happens
no,
this year.
Let's savor this moment.
I will make a bet this will be the only time this season that all 4 of our
100%.
teams win. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well,
But
what are the
they all
odds?
looked, honestly, the Bears controlled the game.
Yeah.
Eagles, it was a fun game, but it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Giants look great.
And we called the over on that game on our live,
Yes.
We did.
and that went way over.
Yeah,
Way over.
We did well on a lot of predictions and a lot of questions. And
Yeah, why don't
stuff.
you get into that? We're going to get into our
It's a great
TikTok
segue.
take segment, and we're going to pass it to Zach.
Time to check my social media, yeah. To see who loves me online.
Well, I only said that because I got weird looks from half the panel there.
We always look weird.
People weren't on the loop
I
there.
was making sure you weren't
That's
having a
just my
stroke.
look. It's
Yeah.
weird, but it's my look. I mean,
So there it is. So hey, if you're not following us on social media, change that. And then if you're not joining our chalkboard community, change that because we answer a lot of questions all the time, and we helped a lot of people. Well, I don't want to say we helped them win their matchups, but we aided in a few
helped.
things.
We
Yeah,
helped. We were helpful.
yeah, we were. I think we were too.
I'm a helpful guy.
We had some fire takes, man.
I feel like if people listen to us, they did okay.
Yeah.
Like I do. I think
Genuinely.
that generally speaking, we were right more than we were wrong.
I'm just
You're the
gonna
big-
highlight a few of them.
You're a big, genuine guy.
The first one is on TikTok _ Dylan Mathena. I want to say I said that last name right.
Say that one more time.
It's Mathena. I said at Flex, Amari Cooper or Kareem Hunt, and then someone responded on our TikTok account and said Hunt could be the surprise winner there.
Oh, yeah.
So look at that. Boom.
Yeah, he was.
Big
Boom.
big difference there.
2 TDs.
Big boom.
And
2
then-
TDs.
Two. Yep. The other comment that I'm going to highlight is on our chalkboard, actually, through our general fantasy chat.
Yeah.
NK _ Vogel said, I'm in a non-PPR league and have the option between Juju and Amari Cooper. Who y'all got? And then someone responded and said, I'd go Juju because Cooper's production isn't proven.
Good job. Whoever
So-
did that. Who was that?
That was me.
Okay, good job.
I didn't want to give
It's
myself
like
the
a
credit.
false modesty, you know.
So yeah, there's a lot of insight on Chalkboard, especially. Click the link in our bio through Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's in the description for this video as well. We have a fun time on there.
Yeah, Mark, why don't you speak about
And-
Chalkboard a little? I know you've been on that thing.
Yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun. So check us out. The Chalkboard app. It is on all Apple smart products, so iPads and phones. Download the Chalkboard app and look for us, Guys on Sports. Come and join our community. We have a lot of channels up there, a lot of forums, a lot of ways for you to be able to interact with us. And then we have a ton of information for you guys. So we have a lot of fantasy players to get in your lineup advice, as well as some sports betting.
Some cheat sheets, some sport. We had some props up, right?
Yeah, we had some props. We had Rocky provided us with some cheat sheets. It's we got a lot of information there, man. Come and check us out.
Yeah, we had a good week. I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll speak for all of us.
Yeah,
I
we
haven't
missed
been on there yet.
We missed a couple times, but I mean, for the majority, especially our lives, man, we nailed lives, and that's the other thing too. So join us Sunday mornings. Every Sunday morning, we're gonna have 2 live segments where we'll switch up 2 and 2. 9 to 10 and 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Our second one, our second one was started a little late, so we didn't have the greatest following, but we had some fire takes on there, Phil. I thought we did good.
We'll be better this week, but yeah, go on there. I think you miss every shot you don't take. We took a bunch, and I think we hit more than we missed, and you'll make some money at least week 1. We'll see how we do week 2, but
Well,
I mean,
and the thing is too, we're gonna take some chances. We're not going to be boilerplate and just go with the easy choices.
Yeah.
So you've got to look at what our advice is and then decide for your team if that makes sense.
Listen, always play your studs. We're big on that. Always play your studs. But when you have the questions, in your flex play, or if you have some bye weeks coming up, whatever the case may be, and you're a little iffy, man, shoot us some differentials there, and we'll give you some advice.
But if we were on your fantasy team, you would play us because we're clearly studs.
Clearly,
yes, I'm a
Clearly
stud.
studs.
Yeah, Mark's a flex at best.
But
I see Mark.
the irony is that he can't flex.
I'm the super flex.
I actually think that Mark, unlike what Phil said, he's got it in him. I think Mark's a stud.
Mark always has it in him. Probably vibrating right now. Okay, so NFL Week 1 is in the books, and we're gonna move on to our first little section here. It is what did we learn? Okay, so guys, what did we learn? What I
learned
learned
that this is the greatest logo on
wow.
any football field
this
ever
is-
in the history
why?
of the entire. This
is a sneak attack.
is the best
This is
looking
a sneak
thing
attack?
I have seen since this side of heaven.
Oh,
This
wow.
is beautiful. And I want you to notice, boom, boom. Where's my hat? Boom.
That's synergy.
the elf.
Now, to be fair,
cult-
I
it's a cult
actually
following.
I sent you the picture, right?
Yeah, you did.
So did I see it first?
It was more of I got 12 sent to me all at one time. And then I got derided by somebody.
Yeah.
Who, you?
No, not me. Someone on our chat.
It's a large
some may
headed.
call it synergy. Some may call it tacky interior decorating.
Insanity as well.
Yeah, that's
But
another.
look at
good
you
synonym.
are mesmerized.
No, I'm just looking at
You-
flaws. Who holds a football like that?
you
That's
can't,
That's how he holds a football,
you can't even
like a loaf of bread.
listen.
Mother,
You just stared at that for a minute solid. You couldn't draw your eyes away.
And-
You're in love right now. You're in love.
I just
Or
want to know
lust.
what was
Lust.
the inspiration behind
Lust.
this logo back
mean,
in the
when-
1960s.
It actually was older than that. It was probably
what-
the 1930s.
That's what all their fans look
That's
like
what
back
their
then.
fathers looked like.
Yeah.
No, I mean he does look vaguely Irish.
Balding,
There's
and
a lot of Irish
stealing
people
bread.
in Cleveland. They were called the Browns. So, what's your logo going to be? You got to pick a mascot, and
That's
it's
it.
Brownie the Elf.
It's a hell of a buckle, by the way.
Brownie the Elf.
I mean, the ratio of belly to buckle is out of whack.
He's got health
It's
problems.
like Santa. It
looks
looks
like he-
vaguely reminiscent of Santa. They gave us lots of joy.
What kind of spikes are those? What are those?
True fact.
All right, so
Zach's got a pair of those
upsets,
shoes.
Upsets. What we learned this week is the college football and NFL even week 1 was pretty crazy. There's a lot of big upsets. I'll let you guys take this because I'm not as big a college watcher as you guys, but I did see some interesting videos.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let me just dive right into this, right? I mean, I think I had probably the biggest upset pick
That's why
ever,
I'm giving this to you. I'm
ever
letting you
called
run.
on the show, man. It's
Oh,
just
that's
I don't.
bold.
It made sense to me because I had watched.
made sense.
I had watched what Appalachian State did to North Carolina in that fourth quarter.
Appalachian.
Tomato, my friend. I saw what they did to
it's
them.
Appalachian.
They hung 40 on them in the fourth quarter. They still lost the game, but they look good, and that had to give them some swag, right?
Yeah.
Going into this matchup.
Those are the words you're using.
So now they got number 6 seed Texas A&M, right? Texas A&M didn't impress me that first week, so I just feel like the stars were aligning, and sure enough, man, Appalachian State came out and did what they needed to do, man.
It was a bold call, and I think I mentioned kind of I think you and I are like spiritual brothers tonight because last week I called that the thing about college sports is that the whole environment's changed with this transfer portal. And so teams are getting players that were 5-star, 4-star from other teams couldn't cut it or got in trouble, and now they're playing for App State. There is no easy game anymore. I mentioned about taking Arkansas State in the points, and you would have won, and you would have got paid pretty handsomely if you would have taken that. So
Yeah.
can we talk about what a terrible coach Jimbo Fisher is?
Wow.
With Texas A&M. I don't like the guy. I feel like he screwed Florida State. He left. I think he's getting what he gets. I love it. I love seeing Jimbo struggle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Struggle.
It was fun to watch him struggle, and I watched a little bit of that game too. So
And then the other big upset, Mark.
the other one was I don't know if anybody called this, but it was Marshall over Notre Dame. That was the other big one. So
Notre Dame.
two top 10 schools, 6 top 25 teams I think went down last weekend, 2 in the top 10.
Yep.
So much to your point, Rocky, things are shaking up with this transfer portal.
Yep.
NIL deals now, they're starting to spread the talent out across the nation.
Yeah.
Can we state the obvious that Notre Dame is missing Brian Kelly?
I was just about to say that.
Notre
All
Dame
my
is missing.
family.
He's missing Brian Kelly. What do you guys think about the rumors of, this is a real quick tangent, but Deion Sanders leaving Jacksonville, or is it Jackson State?
State.
Jackson State.
And possibly going to Florida State.
Are you surprised? I think that was rumored like when he got the job at Jackson State.
Yeah.
What is he
do you
going
think?
for?
To be the coach.
A head coach. No shot.
What do you think?
I mean, it seems like the natural progression. I think he was getting into a program to kind of get his feet wet, get a little, get some chalk on the resume there, and then head to his alma mater. Honestly,
It just makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be
hell of
good
a
for,
recruiter.
It'll be good for Florida State.
But do you think
Yeah.
he's a good coach?
I think he's a good coach.
yeah, I do too.
I haven't watched him enough to know, but I know he's a great recruiter.
Yeah, I think he teaches like young men to, be better athletes.
He's a fantastic motivator for
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
They've dominated everybody they've played. And
No, I was going to say he's a hell of a singer, too. I don't know if you guys ever remember his song way back when.
no, not at all.
I kind of remember the video.
Sing a tune real quick.
I don't
that's
remember how it goes, but I'm going to pick it up and we're going to play it a little bit.
Well, I
on
can
here,
find it and patch it in.
Yeah.
You know the name. You text me it later.
what was it
It
called?
has something to do with money. I know that.
You can't touch this.
Well, he's the man.
No, it wasn't that.
MC Hammer.
He did hang out with MC Hammer at that time.
He did.
Let's get to the NFL upsets, and I think we'll let the guy over there. It's near and dear to his heart. The Bears.
Oh man, how
The Bears.
beautiful was this? This was incredible.
What an ugly game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
disgusting.
again, I mean, I think
Threw up a little bit in my mouth.
I think I come through with another upset pick here. I even called Chicago to win that game outright. So obviously take them with the points. This was another game. It just didn't make sense to me. I think Trey Lance is super overrated. To Rocky's point, you take out that one, you take out that one really good pass preseason. He had no other really outstanding plays in the preseason. So he was not he was not on par with, I feel like, any other quarterbacks they could have gone in that situation. I think Garoppolo should start for that team, quite honestly.
Oh, wow.
And I think Chicago exposed this a little bit. And then on the other side of the ball, Justin Fields, I think, looked great, man. He was a good field manager.
Yeah.
He didn't, work his wide receivers in there right away, but he kept his head in the game. Made a couple of great throws going through his progression. The one that comes to mind is where he eluded the sack and he comes back the other side of the field to a wide open Dante Pettis that he was able to find after getting out of trouble.
Well,
A lot
I think
of young
that's what he's known
quarterbacks-
for, honestly.
Yeah, but a lot of young quarterbacks still they panic and then they'll run. They'll still run. They're not going to look for the
So
the
what?
other man.
So put this to the other guys here. What do we think it means? Is it something where it's one of those weather games where everything kind of goes out the window, or do we think this is like telling of maybe the Bears being a little bit better than we thought coming into the season?
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. I mean, you can kind of see it in Darnell Mooney's production. I have him in a lot of fantasy teams, and I think if the weather was better, it is a different game. I don't know if the outcome is different, but it's a different played game. But I do think Bears fans should be a little excited. I think the way that game finished and just the swag that Justin Fields is bringing to the Bears,
Swag.
it's something to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
I like the coach. Like I felt like the coach did a great job of setting up Fields early with some easy passes, get him in his rhythm, so that when he had to make those big throws, he was kind of filling it. You know, I'm a little concerned about Darnell Mooney though, because he was. It's just, when is he going to become what we think he is?
I think it's going to take some time, right? So Justin Fields is still young, and he's not the greatest quarterback as of yet. But
Well, maybe.
I think
college
Chicago,
program.
I think that Chicago will do a great job of recognizing their faults in that first week, and I think next week is going to be a much different game plan. And I think you're going to see the ball going in Mooney's direction a little bit more often.
Okay, fair. And then probably the craziest game of the day. The Bengals defending AFC champs at home to the Steelers, who everybody on TikTok said we were crazy for saying they're going to make the playoffs. Now, we'll note that Trubisky didn't look great, right?
He did
but
not.
That team
He
still
did not.
looked like a Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Yep.
Like a Mike Tomlin coach team.
Yep.
Yeah.
He gave them black Air Forces before the game, that black
Yep.
Air Force life. And
he's dancing on TikTok now, too.
he's dancing. He was doing the AB dance.
he
Yeah,
was,
that's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's probably the only coach in the NFL that can pull that off.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I think maybe the only quarterback in the NFL besides Patrick Mahomes that could pull off throwing 4 picks and not get killed is Joe Burrow right now. I mean, nobody's talking about how bad he looked.
Okay.
The offensive line didn't look rebuilt, right? But, I mean, the guy threw 4 picks. Now, luckily that Trubisky wasn't great, and they were able to
Stay in the
rally
game.
late in the game. They should have won the game, right? But McPherson, the hero from last year, kind of flaked on them. I think it was more so with was it the snapper or the holder?
Well, no, I think the one in overtime that he shanked like 30 yards left. I think
But-
that was all on him, wasn't
Well,
it?
I don't know. I was listening to sports radio today. They said it was the holder, but who knows? I didn't pay close enough attention. But I mean, is this another thing where it's just week one, or I mean, do we take the Steelers? I know I do. I take the Steelers seriously, but what about you guys?
I think you have to, right? I mean, defending AFC champs, they come out there knowing that they don't have the leadership of Big Ben. They're rolling the dice with Mitch Trubisky, which hasn't worked out in the past.
Yeah.
They've had some disgruntled receivers in the last year trying to get their contracts. You know, this is a team that, for all intents and purposes, could have imploded, and they still came out and they still played Mike Tomlin ball, and they took out the AFC defending champs.
And what do you think about the Bengals? Is this kind of lean to what we were saying about them, that maybe they're got a little hot at the end of the year and it's not really what everybody thinks it is?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think Joe Burrow is going to have like 4 or 5 turnovers a game like he did all the time, but it does show the fact that what they did in the draft or what they did in the offseason isn't as flashy as what you think they would do, or at least what they did the previous year with getting weapons instead of fortifying a line that isn't being fortified right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I as you said, I don't think they're going to throw 4 picks. They missed an extra point. They missed a field goal. I don't think that happens every week, but I do think that like people that love the Bengals, you might want to ratchet just a little bit.
Pump the brakes, huh?
Yeah, it's a tough division.
Wild card team at best.
Yeah, if you talk about who looked the best in that conference, it was the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
They looked like a tip-top ready team.
They played the Jets, big yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I'll push back on that a little bit because I watched the game. They didn't look great. Now, the defense looked stout, but the offense,
Struggled a little bit.
You're saying best in the division right now? Is that, or are you saying
Best,
just,
best in their division. I'm sorry.
I can take that. They
Yeah.
don't look flat out like.
yeah, they didn't look great,
know,
and I think they got to work some stuff out. But
Yeah, they looked the
I would argue
most complete.
The Browns look good too. I mean,
look
considering who
great.
they had at quarterback.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about that later, right? Won't we?
yeah.
All right. So from there, we'll go to.
That's the Deion Sanders song. Must
That's
be
a
the money.
rude. That's a rude interruption.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll put it in the show. But
Yeah,
thank
could
you,
you?
Rocky.
I like Deion. Come
I
on,
thought that
Deion's a
was
good
our
guy.
segue.
Deion's a good guy. Come on.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I mean, it's crazy how 1 week, especially in the NFL, could turn the tables and turn shit upside down. And we'll talk about that because after Monday night, a terrible showing by the Dallas Cowboys,
Oh, that was the best icing on the cake.
and then the news after from Jerry Jones himself that Dak would be missing 6. Well, he didn't say 6 to 8 weeks. We found out the next day that Dak was injured and he probably missed some time. I think I know you think Cooper Rush. I won't put it away. I think you think Cooper Rush is a little bit better than everybody else thinks he is, but I think it essentially takes the Dallas Cowboys out of the race for that division. The rest of the division went 3-0, and I think coming into this, we talked about the Eagles probably being the favorite. I picked the Giants, but I thought they would both make the playoffs. We had
The Commanders
too.
going
He
into
thought the Commanders going.
Yep.
who wins this division now? After we see a week of them playing, we kind of see what Dallas looked like before Dak was injured, and knowing he's not there now. Forecast. What do we got? Any hot takes here?
Before we get you to NFC East gurus in on this, let me just give you, outside looking in.
Hey, take your time.
I think that Dallas. I didn't like Dallas to begin with. Now we have word that Dak post-operatively is maybe only going to miss 4 weeks, but I think that's going to be a huge. Yeah,
he's refusing to go on the IR.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even at that, at that point, I have just like the other teams. I think they're going to be too far out of it to really make some noise. Philly looked good. They allowed a lot of points, which I was a little
not happy about that.
Yeah, and you can't be as an Eagles fan. But to a Detroit team that I've highlighted, or we've all I think have highlighted, it has a very potent offense and is a maturing young team that's capable of doing that to good defenses. Mm-hmm. Then you have the Commanders, who looked pretty solid with Carson Wentz to spread the ball around. But I mean, the Giants, the balls on Dable, man, to just say, "Hey, I'm here. This is how we're going to start. I'm going to do what LSU should have done in their game last week, and I'm going to go for 2 at the end of this."
We talked about that.
And you saw Saquon was just not going to be denied. He was hit behind the line.
Was rookie Saquon. He looked like
he was on a mission.
We would not be denied.
He looked better.
He wanted to prove everybody wrong.
Better than he did as a rookie. But
yeah,
I want to hear what you have to say. Well, I mean, I know what you thought before the season. You didn't really factor in the Cowboys either.
No,
but
I didn't.
After a week watching the Carson Wentz experience, basically in full in one game, the thoughts changed at all? Same place? Where you at?
It's tough. Where to begin? I think the Eagles still win that division, so I won't talk about that too much. The Commanders, I'm waiting to see. I think the Commanders are in a better position than the Giants are to make the playoffs potentially as a wild card now. Carson Wentz is going to have those 4 touchdown games. He's going to have those 4 interception games. So it just depends on what their strength of schedule looks like.
Many times in the same game.
Yeah, honestly. The Giants, though, are the team that I really want to talk about because as an Eagles fan and somebody that doesn't like the Giants in general, I'm pissed that they're on the right track for once because they don't have the Pat Shurmurs of the world or the Jason Garretts that are going to kick a field goal or an extra point or whatever it is and lose a game or tie a game or not even be in the competition in the first place.
Yeah,
I'm upset with how they're actually going to maybe make progressions in the right direction. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year. And I think you got to think about the fact that they won because the other team missed the game-winning field goal too. I don't think that's talked about as much because Saquon had a great game and Brian Dable does have a pair of cojones like no one else in that division right now. Yeah. So you got to wait and see with the Giants, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
I never thought the Cowboys were a playoff team. You called the Giants. You actually did say you felt like the Giants were on the right path. I don't buy Washington because I just, first of all, we don't know how good Jacksonville is yet.
That's true.
And I know how bad Carson Wentz can be. He did look great in certain plays, but then he also forced balls that had no chance of being caught and were intercepted.
Their wide receivers look great, though.
Yeah. Jahan Dotson looks like the steal.
Looks real deal. Curtis Samuel looks good.
Yeah.
The resurgence of Curtis Samuel.
Yeah. Curtis Samuel looked great. You're right. But I still feel like in a pressure situation, I don't know what he's going to do. I was impressed because the Giants, they haven't fully worked in all their wide receivers yet. They barely use Kadarius Toney. Mm-hmm. Wan'Dell's still learning.
Well, Wan'Dell got hurt.
He did get hurt.
Yeah, so he didn't play the second half.
So I didn't realize. Okay, so that makes a little more sense.
He'll be back, but next week. But he was out.
Yeah, I just don't like how Toney didn't get any targets in that game.
I'll expand on that.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, I think he will. I think Dable will figure it out.
Oh yeah.
And I think they're going to get better and better. And they had the last place schedule, so it's slightly easier than. So I just feel like this could be their year where they make some noise and maybe make it as a wild card team.
I still think that Philly's the favorite.
100%. I picked them too.
I still picked the Giants to win because that's just the bias. But I think Philly's the favorite right now. I was very excited at the beginning of that Philly game.
I bet everyone was.
I was rooting for the Lions anyway. That's the team. I mean, I would have been rooting for them against almost anybody.
Yeah.
But, they did win the game.
Game was fun to watch.
But the defense looked a little
shaky,
right? Yeah. And
it takes time. We have a lot of acquisitions on the defense.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's more about the Eagles or more about the Lions.
Or I think it's both, maybe a little, because I think the Lions are drastically improved, and the Eagles are getting it together.
Well, they looked fast too.
They
the
looked
Lions
fast.
looked fast.
Well, they looked fast, and they were attacking. The addition of Jeff Okudah, who's back and healthy.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
He's a strong corner.
Well, I'll say this: I thought the Cowboys were whatever. Anyway, I didn't think they got better in the offseason, and they looked terrible.
I love it.
Dak's gone for what I mean. Those 4 weeks, I don't see how they could tread water when they looked as bad as they did with Dak there.
And not only that,
maybe they can.
Their play calling was atrocious. I mean,
Mike McCarthy's gone, right?
Yeah.
Zeke,
McCarthy.
I want him to be signed for life.
Yes, I would love it.
I would.
He
oh
just
my god,
he doesn't
please.
know. He doesn't seem to know how to call a game.
So, the knock was, Zeke is past his prime. Zeke turned back the clock, man. Zeke is
had
not the
yep,
issue.
Yep,
Zeke
5.6 yards.
No,
a carry.
almost 6 yards to carry.
He looked good. My only issue, but I think we've seen it last year too. He looked fresh, but he has a lot of wear. I think halfway through the season he starts to slow down and he gets a little bit more plotting. But I mean, I don't even think they're going to be relevant at that
Yeah,
point.
he's got a lot of mileage.
So no more Cowboys. They get enough coverage. The Commanders, I think the same thing. I think Wentz could be great.
But he's Jay Cutler. That's who Carson Wentz is.
That's
Carson
very-
Wentz
yeah.
is this
Yeah.
generation's
That is
Jay
not
Cutler.
a terrible comparison.
Less talented Brett Favre. He's going to throw the ball no matter what.
He's going to
and-
force the ball.
Yeah.
And I think what Hurts has shown last year more than Jones has. I think Jones has flashed as well, but I think they're both a question mark. I think Jones a little bit more, right? So with him, it's like it's going to be really if he can limit the mistakes like that interception late. What I will say, to push back on what you said, I do think that the division and the schedule makes it a lot more. I mean, if the only thing standing in their way to be a wild card out of that division is the Commanders, that doesn't worry me as much. They limited, and coming into that game, I thought they had a chance to win because Tennessee didn't really have anything on the edges that really scared you.
Yeah.
And they really limited Henry. I mean, his final stat line was okay, but watching the game, he had no impact on the game.
He had to earn every single
Yeah,
snap.
trouble getting
They were
going.
missing their two starting defensive ends. So there was literally no pass rush. And on offense, looked terrible in the first half. Looked like the Giants the last couple of years, but second half, going forward, all that stuff. But really, it was the explosive plays that the Giants haven't had in the last few years that made the difference in the game. Saquon being healthy, utilizing Saquon. Kadarius Toney, they said that he's slowly being worked in because he wasn't really participating in
Preseason.
training camp. So they had more plays scripted for him. But Dable said they're kind of going by, they're making the receivers earn their snaps. So I guess that's how they're running things. Richie James, which is a guy I'll mention later, saw a lot of those snaps. And Wandale looked good while he was in there. And the other thing, the missed the missed field goal, that's true. But I think the difference is the last 5 years, the Giants have lost, and one of them to you guys, probably 6 or 7 games that way on plus 60-yard field goals. So I think Dable, not kicking the field goal for the tie there. I mean, not kicking the extra point for the tie there,
good
going
coaching.
for the win, puts you in a position where I just think it was smart. He still had 3 timeouts left. And I'm just saying that I think there's competency now where he could have still got the ball back if they miss, but you kind of take the game there and then you don't let it get. You have to stop Tennessee probably twice and get lucky in overtime to get the ball to try to win that game.
It's more than competency, though. It's confidence, man. He's a new head coach. He needs to win that locker room over. There's no better way to win that locker room over than doing what nobody wants a tie. No, there's no player that wants to play for a tie. They're always wanting to play for the win. Now you get a coach that backs that. These guys are like, oh shit, this guy's for real. Now we can play for this guy.
Yeah.
I hope he keeps that momentum steamrolling every week, and if he does, man, I think the Giants might be a contender.
Well, a team that and a coach that decided to go for a tie is in another division that we're going to be talking about. I mean, the AFC South.
The AFC South, absolutely. And that whole division with those two teams you're talking about, they tied, and the entire division is winless. And we almost had a rare occurrence. And what was the year, Mark?
It has not been done, actually, since Carolina was brought into the NFL in 1995. We've never had 2 complete winless divisions after week 1.
Yes, and we'll talk about this real quick. But, I mean, the whole division, the Colts looked bad. The Texans looked better than most people thought.
Yeah.
The Jaguars, I thought, should have won that game.
Jaguars they looked competent.
Trevor Lawrence is still looking uneven,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And he hurt them a bit. And Tennessee, I think they were exposed a little bit. I don't think they have the talent right now outside unless Burks emerges. But as high as I think me and you were on Burks fantasy-wise, I think he was never... He's not a guy that wins.
Yeah, didn't you guys both draft him?
Yeah, we sure did.
Didn't you draft him first?
No, we double drafted.
But you drafted first.
Yeah, we double drafted.
Yeah, you drafted first and he took him from
He's
you.
just picking at a scab.
It's like crossing streams, guys.
But he's not. I'm not sure why. Especially watching last week, I don't know if that he's a guy that's gonna win one-on-one.
Well, and
like that guy, like a
and
Jamar Chase, like a Justin Jefferson.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's what
AJ Brown
in college
looked like a beast.
In college, he wasn't that guy. He was a guy that took a ball behind the line of scrimmage and made something of it. But he wasn't like, I'm going to jump over you.
He's an open space guy.
And then when you look at like how well Brown did in Philadelphia, who I question whether he would be able to go that quick and look that good.
I think it answered the question on AJ Brown real quick about the target share and the volume, and he's also
it answered why the hell did Tennessee trade him?
Yeah, well, he had the biggest debut for an Eagles wide receiver, 155 yards, has not been matched by any other receiver in their first game.
Yeah. So what I will say is, does this? I know it's week 1, but is there a clear favorite for this division still?
I think no, there's not to answer the question, but I think Jacksonville is going to make more noise than people anticipated, and I hope the Colts turn things around.
I think the Texans. I'm not calling them to make the playoffs, but I think they're building something pretty solid there.
You're on record saying they'll
Mills
have 8
Mafia.
games.
He looked good.
Well, let me just go on record saying I don't know how Indianapolis lost this game, right? They get 352 yards out of Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan did what he needed to do.
Yep.
They got 161 yards on the ground from Jonathan Taylor.
He looked
He
good.
did what he needed to do.
Looked
and
good.
somehow they still ended up tying this game, right? I don't know that we can all hang it on, the puss getter, Mr. Rodrigo Blankenship, and I know Indianapolis
guy.
I guess we can mention that real quick now.
Indianapolis cut ties with him after the shank in overtime. But Indy should have won this game, so I think they are. I like Indianapolis as a clear favorite to take this division.
I'm more in the dark about it. I really don't know who I like.
I don't know why I like the Texans. I just really want them to do well. I feel like I like Davis Mills. I think he's a great young quarterback.
The Colts need a number 2 wide receiver for sure. That's one of the things I
Alex
saw.
Pierce doesn't look great, but he's a rookie. He might come along.
I think
on.
they keep thinking that Paris Campbell is going to be that number 2,
or
but he's
Ashton
done
Doolin.
nothing. Ashton. Yeah, you're right. I think has looked even better than Paris has.
Yeah, and then they're working Naheem Hines into that passing game as well. Because obviously carrying the ball is, that's all on Jonathan Taylor.
It's not his forte.
But Hines is an amazing athlete, and they have to get the ball in his hands some way, and they're finding creative ways to do it.
All right, so we'll go from the AFC South to the NFC West, and the question is, after this weekend, is the NFC West overrated? Now, I know coming into the season, I thought they were maybe the second, third best division in football, but we had the defending champs go down. We had San Francisco kind of get embarrassed being 7-point favorites and losing to the Chicago Bears. Yeah. No offense, but they were heavy favorites.
They were heavy favorites.
Arizona getting just
shellacked,
beat up on by Patrick Mahomes in their building.
Embarrassed.
And then we had the Seahawks winning a game that I guess at this point we could call just an emotional game that they were able to win.
Oh, it'll be one of their 4 wins of the year.
But they were clearly the team we had in the basement of this division, right?
Yeah.
So do we think that this division is a little overrated? Do we think they're as strong as we thought coming into the season? Like, I had San Francisco in the conference championship, right? And I don't know if that's just that game or...
So
Trey Lance looked terrible.
Yeah. And like I've said, I don't think Trey Lance is the answer for this team. I think you're going to get what you get with him. And that's kind of like what happened with Kaepernick. When Kaepernick burst onto the scene, no one was prepared for him, right? He was just way too athletic. And then people realized what he's about, were able to shut him down. So I think they've learned their lesson, having seen that style of play in the past, and now teams are already game planning for guys like Trey Lance. This, for me, I didn't like this division to begin with. The only team I had going into the playoffs out of this division was the division winner Rams, and they looked like shit.
Well,
They
but
look
part
bad.
of that is, I think, did they look that bad, or is Buffalo just the absolute real deal?
No, I think the fact that Stafford could not get off of Cooper Kupp and work through his progressions for such an established quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
I'll push back on that because what I'll say, I do think that this division will kind of be right around where I thought it was going to be, but there's an issue with the NFL in general, I think, with preseason, especially going back down to 3 games.
100%.
They did not play their
100%.
players. How do you expect a
You're
guy
right.
like
You're
A-Rob
right.
and
100%.
Stafford to get on the same? There's no reason they brought the guy in. He's as good as we know he is, even if he's not 100% what he was.
Right.
That he's out there, what was 96% of the snaps and doesn't get, what, 1 look, maybe 2 looks he got?
Yeah,
Listen.
two targets. It was 90. Played 96% of the snaps. Ran routes on 90%. Was targeted twice. It was the greatest day's worth of cardio.
I think teams have to
the
start
NFL.
thinking about that. Like, you got to play. You talk to the players from the 90s, they all say they love playing in the preseason. They love getting the
Yeah.
routine down of a game day, just getting back. I mean, it's different than the camp battles
you
and all
look
that
at-
stuff.
You look at every quarterback that struggled this week, and it was on a team that didn't play their starters.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's why Fields was ready, because Fields.
that's right. He played a lot.
You know, Chicago approached it like, from what I remember, childhood. Your starters, the first 3 games, your starters would play
1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarters.
Yeah. Well, and then by the end of the preseason, sometimes those guys went into the fourth quarter
yeah.
if they had a sustainable drive going.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
your
and that's
last
exactly
game
how
was
it
your
went.
dress rehearsal, or the third game. You look at Joe Burrows. He had an appendectomy, and he didn't play at all in the preseason. Came out, looked rusty as hell. 4
Yeah.
interceptions. Jacoby Brissett played 4 plays in the preseason. Looked rusty as hell. I think you've got, like, there's got to be some kind of tension between you don't want to get him hurt, but you got to get him ready.
You got to play football. I
Yeah.
mean, how do you
Game
get timing?
speed, game
Timing,
speed.
game speed.
Yep.
I forgot who I was listening to today. I think it was Damian Woody talking about it and how much him and the guys on his line, they played together and how cohesive they were. They said they loved playing in the preseason together and playing and they always practiced, and it made a difference when they played other teams. They could communicate without talking. If you got guys that are just coming in cold and just scrimmaging in practice, it's way different. Number one, in the game, and number 2, just the game day, having the routine, get into the stadium, getting your treatment, getting taped up, all that stuff they do. If you're just coming in cold game day and that's the first pass you're throwing is Joe Burrow, how, I just don't understand what they're. I mean, I think they're protecting these guys a little too much.
A little too much.
I don't know
Okay,
how we
so-
went on that tangent, but
Real quick, are there any teams that rebound in this division?
I would hope to say that the Rams do. I think I'm most confident with them kind of getting on the right track. I've been saying this the entire offseason. I don't know what Trey Lance is going to be, so I'm not putting any chips into him, and it's proving the point so far.
yeah.
I'm surprised the most with the Cardinals losing that bad, because for the most part they stayed the same besides the D-Hop suspension and adding Brown. Like the defense is pretty much the same. James Conner's still there. Like it's all supposed.
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger wasn't.
Well, they lost. Yeah,
He was on the Chiefs.
Oh, that was wow. Ring that one.
That
up.
was he was there for either way. So them losing that bad is not good, because
No.
what have the Cardinals done to make me believe that they're going to be a good team besides getting to the playoffs last year and then losing in a great fashion?
And to a Kansas City team who was also trying to find their identity, having lost their best wide receiver playmaker in Tyreek Hill, and bringing in a bunch of new guys for Mahomes.
And it didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Mahomes
it
did.
didn't
Mahomes,
matter because Mahomes is Mahomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what is fantastic is there's a bunch of coaches. I don't know whether they're high school, college coaches, whatever, but they're posting TikToks and they're breaking down Kyler Murray's vision in games, and they're saying exactly why, the reason that they had that clause in the contract, why it was there. And they're saying he is missing these obvious reads. He's missing these overstacked sides, these blindside rushes, and he's not looking at his hot routes, and he's not moving his pieces around the field like a true commander should.
So who did you say you think would bounce back?
The Rams.
Okay, and what about you?
Yeah, I got to feel like the Rams will bounce back. I'm going to be honest. I think the Seahawks might be a little bit better than 4 wins. I will say it was a really well called game last night, and they do have weapons. I mean, DK and Tyler look good. Richard is decent. Their line's improved, not great,
They're
but
getting
improved.
Walker back.
Yeah, they're getting Walker back. So I think they could surprise people, maybe be 500.
They're the only team that has no noise around them right now.
Yes.
That's
all
true.
three of these teams, besides the Seahawks, like have expectations.
I'll say I think Cardinals. I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to be fired after the season.
Yeah.
I think the Rams bounce back. I'd still like San Francisco, although it troubled me watching Lance. I watched a little bit of the All 22 yesterday, and his mechanics are bad, man.
They're terrible.
They're really bad. They're like just coming into college bad at some
it's why
point.
Jimmy's there. It's why Jimmy's there.
And I think
Yes.
if they have, I like Shanahan.
Yes.
I still think that there's a chance that he could maybe tweak it, but go back to Jimmy. I think they have the roster to be a contender, so I think they will bounce back.
I mean, and they just lost their dynamic running back in Elijah Mitchell for 2 months too.
Listen.
Yeah.
We like Shanahan, but he's going to have some hell to pay because he jumped over a lot of quarterbacks that were taken
Yeah,
to
that's
take.
true.
That was his choice.
Arguably the worst quarterback Shanahan's worked with so far.
Lance needs to be he needs to be Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre. He needs like 4 years to develop. Like,
I think you're probably right.
I just needs help.
All right, so let's move on from that because we are deep, and we'll get to our next section, which is my favorite section in the last couple of weeks: smash or pass. All right, smash or pass, guys, and this is the AFC North edition, which is near and dear to your heart, Rocky, right? So basically, if you haven't seen this section before, what we're going to do is I'm going to make a statement, and the panel will smash
Or pass.
or pass,
Prepare for this to be a 35-minute.
No, we're going to do
We're
quick.
gonna
here.
light-
Let's-
no, no,
yeah,
no,
we're
lightning
gonna-
round.
I'm going to be quick.
It's our
All
third
right,
time
so
doing this.
we're starting off hot. Will Bengals win division?
No. Pass.
You failed already.
That's my fault. I posed it as a question. Bengals will win this
Thank
division.
you. Pass.
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 Pass. Okay. Jacoby Brissett will finish season over 500. The games he plays, obviously.
How many games is he playing? again?
11.
11.
Pass.
Let's go 6 and 5.
I'm gonna
Pass.
smash.
Is there a buy in there?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to go smash because he has to if they want any chance for the playoffs.
I love the Browns. I really do love their roster, but I will pass. Okay. TJ Watt is the best player in this division. Injury notwithstanding.
Offense or like defensive?
Just
or-
best player.
Best player. Smash.
That's a smash.
I'm trying to go through everybody in the division. I'm going to say pass.
Who is?
Borderline, I would say I'm still interested in looking at Joe Burrow. I do like Lamar Jackson and what he brings.
I would give an honorable mention there to Myles Garrett. I think Myles Garrett.
That's who is in my head is the second best. Yeah. So I would smash on him being the best player in the division. All right, Lamar Jackson gets new contract in the offseason as opposed to being franchised.
Smash.
Super smash.
Smash.
I pass. I think they're going to franchise him.
Yeah.
Or they're going to trade him because he's pissed.
I don't think they're going to trade. I think they'll franchise him. I think they're going to franchise him the year after, too.
I think he's going to win this division. He's going to win this division handily, and they're going to hand him a blank check.
Ditto.
Fair. All right. Sticking with the Ravens. Ray Lewis is innocent. Smash or pass?
I don't know, man. I generally don't know enough information.
Pick a side.
Can you say it again?
Ray Lewis is innocent.
Pass. I don't know.
Pass.
Pass.
Smash. He ain't do it. He ain't do it.
I genuinely don't know enough about it.
He ain't do it.
He did.
All right. Big Ben is the best quarterback in Steelers history.
I'm going to jump on and say
No, it's not your turn.
Not your turn. Wait your turn, old man.
Smash.
Pass.
pass.
Smash.
Yeah.
What are you
better
saying?
than Terry?
Terry
I think
Bradshaw
he's a better
won
player.
4 Super Bowls.
Are we? Well, we'll get into your Moat or whatever you call
Mapote.
Tom
The
Brady.
Mapote.
Mapote. I mean,
Mapote.
he might be the Mapote of the Steelers. I don't think he was a better.
What is Mapote stand? Oh,
most accomplished player of all time. But
Oh,
he
so,
wasn't
yeah,
the
he
most
won.
accomplished player of all time as
I mean,
far as
he-
stats. But he won 4 Super Bowls.
But did he also play with like 9 Hall of Famers?
He did. But if you look at him, he was a progressive quarterback for that era. I mean, Terry was honestly a lot of the way an offense is set up now
Yeah.
started with Terry Bradshaw.
So defenses weren't ready to defend it though.
That's fair. But
How many
still.
game-winning drives does he have compared to Big Ben?
Oh, I have no idea.
Legitimate question. Like,
Punch
is it
up.
comparable?
Somebody punch it up on these
I mean,
high-powered machines
know,
in front of
they-
us.
Ben.
That would have taken some. Somebody would have had to have gone back and rewatched all the games.
Well, because I
This is
think
a stat they didn't
Ben
keep
played
track of.
longer. Terry didn't
Yeah.
play that long. I think he only played like nine seasons, if I'm correct.
Terry, good old Louisiana boy.
Yeah.
All right. Agree to disagree. Deshaun Watson, 2023 Comeback Player of the Year.
I'm going to pass because I'm expecting someone else to get injured and do better.
Pass.
I'm going to pass because the NFL will never vote on
I'm
that.
also going to pass. That was a joke. But I'm glad that you took it serious.
Yeah.
All right. Kareem Hunt should be RB1 for the Browns.
Pass.
Pass.
Pass, but he could be an RB1.
Yeah, I'll pass too. I'll pass. All right. Jamar Chase will break Megatron's receiving yards record in a season.
What is it right now?
I don't remember. What is it? Anybody know the exact number? It's just a whole lot.
It's a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's
But didn't
Was it
Cut
a
break
couple
it last
months?
year?
yeah, with an extra game.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
Right.
sense. So there's an asterisk.
Yeah.
I'm going to say pass.
I'm gonna go pass too.
Yeah, I'm going to go pass because of the number of wide receivers in Cincinnati.
That's true, but he looks so damn good.
He does, but if anyone breaks it, man, it's gonna be J. Jeff.
Maybe, yeah, with that new coach, the way they're going to use him. All right.
Wait.
I'm going to pass too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
thought you were going to skip yourself.
No, I don't never skip myself. Look at me. All right. So I have a strong feeling you're gonna smash this. Skyline chili.
Pass.
Pass, man. There's cinnamon in it, isn't there?
I don't know. I never cooked it.
I've
Overrated.
never had it, but
It
I
might be
I've-
good just
I've
because
read.
there's cinnamon in there. I'm sure there's a lot of shit with cinnamon in it that tastes good.
Maybe I'm gonna.
You
pass,
look like
though.
a chili guy, though.
I do like chili.
Yeah, so
just
why
not
not?
Skyline chili.
I'm going to
Never
smash
had
it because they put it on pasta.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I'm gonna smash it too because it looks really good
It's
in the
good, man.
pictures.
You
Yeah,
guys are
it's good.
you guys are ridiculous.
You're
Have you tried it
ridiculous.
before?
It's disgusting.
You've tried it.
Presentation 0.
But you tried it. You have tried it.
Taste 5. Just
Oh, you've had it?
overrated.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
ask you a question.
You've had it
This is-
in or like
No.
the frozen?
I haven't. I've had it like as like a. I haven't had it in wherever the hell it comes from.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. I've just had it.
Okay,
Like as a
so
frozen thing.
Oh
This-
yeah. Well, I mean, I
this
guess
is the
that's-
important
yeah.
thing about it. How many beers in? Because if you're like
no,
8
I
beers
was.
in,
I wasn't.
Stone
tastes
sober.
good.
I was like 16 or 17.
I mean, stone sober. Okay,
I mean, Ilio's pizza tastes good. 8 beers in.
okay,
For crying out loud.
8, 9
Don't
beers
disrespect the
Nothing
Ilios.
should be good when you're drunk. It should be. If it's good, it's great when you're drunk.
in. It is great when you're drunk,
No.
and it also comes up easy.
I'm with you. Man. I don't even want to.
Goes down
I don't even
easy?
want to try it.
And comes up.
It looks
my
when it's
kinda
made.
gal.
It looks like what it would be when you toss it.
All right, next brownie elf.
Smash.
Smash.
I'm smashing the hell out of that thing.
Let's take it easy.
Yeah,
I'm
bet you
smashing
are.
as well.
Yeah, look at it. You know, I took some real shit about Brownie the Elf.
No, I like brownie the elf.
It's a great emblem.
Here's
It's
the
great.
thing. Anything is better than a fucking color for your mascot.
It's a dream
all right?
portal to another era. You know?
It's unique.
Yeah.
It's going to be dead center on that
Unique-
field on Sunday at the
Unique
game
New York.
that I'm going
New York.
to.
Unique New York.
I'm excited about this
Who's
game.
your favorite team? The Chicago Navy Blues.
All
Like,
right,
come on.
All
It's
right, shut
awful.
up. Andy Dalton's career.
Pass.
Smash.
Smash.
I'm smashed too. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a pretty good career. They went
It
to the
was.
playoffs, 5 years in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looked good even like parts of last year. He still looked like he had it.
No.
The
A
Red,
lot better than Wentz's career.
Not
the Red
memorable.
Rocket. Red Rocket living
Red
strong.
Rocket.
Steelers will win division.
Pass, but I like him a lot.
Steel. Oh,
Yes.
pass.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
What were you looking
I
at?
had to remember who was in the division.
Yeah, I'm
I
going
will.
to pass.
I will also pass. All right, Mike Tomlin's eyes.
Mike Tomlin's bug eyes.
Yes.
I'm gonna give that a smash.
That's a pass.
I'm going to give it anything he does. I'm going to
I'm gonna
smash.
smash. He's intense. I like it.
He is intense.
Yeah.
I
mean,
will not lie.
He's not gonna lie to
I
you.
just don't want to look into them. That's the reason why I'm passing.
Joe Burrow is best quarterback in division.
Smash.
Pass.
I'm going to pass. I think it will be the comeback player of the year, Deshaun Watson, next year.
Okay. All right, so last two here.
Wait, no, you didn't go.
You can go.
Oh, I did. I skipped myself. I think he is Lamar Jackson. I pass.
Yeah.
All right. Crab cakes.
Smash.
Oh, dude, double smash. Can I smash fucking 4 times?
You probably have.
Yeah, I could.
Yes, smash.
Pass. I'm allergic, unfortunately. All right.
Loser.
Last one. Amari Cooper will have plus 750 receiving yards this season.
Pass or smash barely.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think smash barely.
Yeah, I would say smash.
Not you guys are influencing me.
That's tough, man. 750 is not like
Jacoby
I was
did
gonna go
look really bad.
I was gonna go 1,000, but I feel like that's
That's
an
a pass.
easy pass. So.
17 games.
I'll smash. Yeah, because you get Deshaun for the stretch. Maybe he makes up for it then. All right, so that was smash or pass, AFC North edition. We got that one done.
Was that do you make these yourself?
Yes.
This was an easier round, Phil.
What do you mean?
This was easy. This was easier to decide besides the Ray Lewis
Oh yeah,
one.
the Ray Lewis one was perfect. Though. Your reaction was great. I'm sure nobody saw
it's
that.
almost like
coming.
you were testifying.
I literally, I felt like I was.
Like he's watching you.
I didn't know, either way.
All right, so from laughing to anger, we'll go to our next section. Our next section, which is grinding my gear.
Oh, what really grinds my gears?
Grinds my gears. Grinds my gears. Grinds. You know what really grinds my gears?
Know what really grinds my gears?
Grinds.
Grinds your gears. Grinds your gears. Grinds your gears.
Grinds. And that's what really grinds my gears.
And Zach, tell us what's grinding your gears,
this
sir?
will be a quick grind my gears. But every time I see the Cowboys in primetime because they paid and sold their soul for us to see it, I have to see Trayvon Diggs and I genuinely think the most overrated player to ever play the game in my lifetime.
Ever played a game?
Right now, I think he's the most overrated player.
That is bold. Wow.
I don't know. I think he's a clown. I mean, we saw Mike Evans,
shit.
score that huge touchdown against them in that game that we just saw on what was it, Monday night or Sunday night? I'm pissed off. I can't even think of when I saw it.
He started off hot last year, right? He had like 6 picks or something like that.
He led the league
yes,
in
thank you.
interceptions and also most yards given
Yeah,
up.
that's
Yeah.
because
So
he comes
there you
off his
go,
routes
right
and
there.
goes for the ball.
Feast or famine.
No, I think he gets lucky. He got lucky with a few of those interceptions. People called him a lockdown corner, which instantly pissed me off at the beginning of last year because if anything, he's a ball hawk. He's not a lockdown corner.
100%.
I don't
a great
think
take.
he's. Oh, I'll beat my brother, and I get the brotherly kind of back and forth there, but he's bad. He's not good. I don't think he's good at all. I hope the Cowboys pay him because they tend to pay mediocre players. I think he's a clown.
Who's his brother, Stefan or Quadri?
Stephon.
Stefan, all right.
Yeah.
Well, Rocky was looking up Tay Diggs. I don't know if that was
I
related
wish.
earlier.
Tay Diggs is a good-looking
He's a
man.
good-looking man. Maybe you're
Good-looking
just
man,
checking him
yes.
out.
Smash or pass?
Smash. Do you think
I
that
pass.
I mean, I think
Not my
he
type.
looked. I think he looked better than Ramsey did the first week.
Ramsey got
torched. And he got, honestly, in the Super Bowl, there were parts of it where he got torched too.
I'm taking Ramsey 1 billion
I will
times
take Ramsey
over
over him. There's more of a
Diggs.
track record there.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
And who they play too, if we're going to slice between Diggs and Evans, Diggs is a better receiver.
And to bring up an earlier point too, Jalen Ramsey getting no preseason time and then coming off and expected to cover Stephon Diggs. Come on now.
Stephon Diggs was a grown man out there.
What?
Man, he
how
looked
did
like a
how did
goddamn
the Rams
beast.
come out last year in their first game? I wonder because
They were good. They
Yeah,
were
they
hotter.
won.
They beat the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
On Thursday night.
Not
They
week
came-
1. The
I
Bucks
thought-
played the Cowboys.
Oh no, yeah. So they beat him like week 4. I remember that. All right.
They came out week 1 swinging though, I think, and everyone
gonna
was like,
see,
"Oh,
No, they were
Matt
good, and then
Stafford
they lost
errors."
every game in November or something like that.
They played the
lost,
Bears
4
34
games.
to 14.
No, but it was the
Oh,
Bears.
there you go.
So
Yeah,
it was like playing
the
no one.
Bears.
Trayvon Diggs is overrated. He's burnt toast every time I see him on the field.
So super fantasy advice that's coming up next. We'll start with this. If you got a receiver going up against Trayvon Diggs,
Put him in your lineup.
put him in your lineup. Don't
him in
fade
there.
him.
Play your
Don't fade him.
studs.
So let's get to our expert fantasy advice, and we're gonna talk about some of our week 1 duds. And I don't know about you guys, but I had a few of these guys in my lineup, and They really made it a shitty weekend. You know what I'm saying?
You know what pissed me off is that we were debating who we were going to highlight as our offensive player of the week.
Oh my god!
And you wanted Robinson.
Oh my god!
And I said I wanted Robinson, and you let me have him. And it was the shit pick, the lock, and he did awful.
And then Mark picked Jerry Jeudy instead.
Yeah, and Jerry Jeudy showed out.
Which was an excellent pivot, I may add.
Yeah,
That was an excellent pick.
I agree. I
took
with
Kareem Hunt, so I did well. Who did
You did
take?
great.
Chase Evans got 10 points.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
solid.
respectable.
Yeah, I was better than A-Rob. So
Yeah, A-Rob, what'd he do?
Nothing.
one catch for like 6 yards.
Garbage. So who, besides A-Rob, what are the other duds that we're highlighting here?
All right, so we're gonna highlight A-Rob. We're gonna highlight Monty, as you like to call him, David Montgomery. Highlighting Amari Cooper, who really broke my heart, and CeeDee Lamb, probably the second most overrated player in the league. Yes.
Cowboys suck.
But the question is, what do we think about these guys? We just talked about we talked about A-Rob a lot today. Do we think he bounces back? Is this just the preseason, not a familiarity thing, or did maybe he lose a step?
Yeah, no, 100%. And if you watch the game, you watch them on those 96% of plays. He was open a ton in this game.
Oh, sure.
His routes were crisp. He was beating the underneath coverage, which is why you bring a guy like A-Rob in. Stafford could not get to him in his progression. That offensive line looked like shit for the Rams, and because of that, I think Stafford was harried. And I think what compounded it was that Stafford's had those preseason elbow issues where he's been getting the injections. So I think he's thinking that he doesn't want to take a massive amount of hits, and he was running for his life. And obviously Cooper Kupp is the guy that you're going to go to.
He looked a little off too, though. That interception.
Yeah.
Well, I heard,
he had one that wasn't his fault. He had a horrible one.
I think who was it? I think Orlovsky was talking about it. That overthrow is like symptomatic of the whatever he's got going on with his elbow, right?
Yeah. And I mean, if you watched a lot of like the instant replays back and stuff too, he was really going to his breadbasket in his no look passes, and that was one of his no look passes was severely overthrown. That was the easy pick.
That was the one in the
up.
flat, right?
Yeah,
that was bad.
You know, and I think that again that goes back to not playing in the preseason.
Yeah. So you think he bounces back? I tend to think he bounces back. I think he's still a guy. I might monitor though the next couple of weeks, and if I have a Jalen Waddle as a third receiver, who I started Reek and Waddle on the same team, and I got production.
Yeah,
I would, if you have a guy like that, you're playing in the flex, maybe you slide him in and move things around.
It's
and see
justifiable. 100% justifiable because you don't know what you're going to get with him.
That scared me off a little bit. I'll be honest.
I mean, you're looking at a guy coming into a new offense anyway, and you're a little iffy. But you're thinking, oh, this offense needs him, this, that, and the other, and then he puts up this showing. So now you justifiably are going to be a little gun shy with him.
Yeah, I would say this is a fantasy wisdom section here. If I own A-Rob, I'm hoping that he comes out strong against the Falcons, so much weaker defense, that he shows out, looks good, and then maybe you dump him because even though I do think he's going to rebound, he is the clear number 2, maybe number 3 receiver. Stafford has eyes for Cooper Kupp.
I still think there's a chance they bring OBJ back too later in the season.
I guarantee. And so, to me, I think you get rid of A-Rob if he has a great game and get what you can for him because I don't think he's ever going to be anything in this offense but a second fiddle.
That's fair. Any thoughts? No?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying in entirety, but I think that if you suffered from hearing all of the noise when you drafted, you either got A-Rob at a great value before all of the noise came out, or you might have low-key overdrafted A-Rob by just a little bit. So be wary and take Rocky's advice if you are one of those people.
Yeah.
Okay, so next guy, Monty. I'm going to pitch this to you, but I will say Sunday, Herbert led in rushing yards, right? And Montgomery had more attempts, and we've seen what Herbert did last year in Montgomery's absence, which is I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I know you love Monty, but there was rumors in the offseason that he wasn't as good of a fit for this scheme as Herbert was.
Right. Well, I think that's because I think people are assuming a defensive-minded coach comes in, takes over, right? You immediately start thinking smash mouth, right? Like that's the default. You think they're going to run a smash mouth offense, lean on their defense. I get that. But, Chicago with a playmaker like Justin Fields, he's going to move that pocket around a bunch. So you need some shifty guys that are able to be playmakers alongside of Justin Fields. Monty is just that. I'm not worried about Monty going forward. As far as running backs go, Chicago has the easiest strengths to schedule. I think Monty's going to bounce back. 17 carries for 26 yards. A lot of that plotting was in the beginning of the game when the field was really wet.
Yep.
Puddles galore. They were keying in on that offense because it wasn't opened up at this point. So it was kind of unfair. They were really stacking the box against them. You can see how dynamic he is. I mean, he led the team in targets with 4 targets. So I mean, he's going to be in there on pass plays. Herbert I think he was a product of fortune in the second half, especially when he rattled off a couple of those larger runs.
Yep.
And that's because Fields had already opened up the offense a little bit. The weather was a little bit better, and Herbert was able to find some holes. And listen, I'm not taking anything away from Khalil. Khalil is an amazing athlete. I love having him as our RB2. I think they're a great compliment. I think they're a very underrated 1-2 punch. But I don't think you have to go away from Monty just yet.
Yeah, I would agree with the same thing. I think he still got targeted 4 times. I think that continues. I think if anything, as Fields gets more comfortable, he'll actually work him more into the pass catching. And I don't think I'm ready to just sell him yet.
Yeah, I literally just put in a waiver wire for Khalil Herbert. I think that my team and how it's built, I can harp off the fact that Montgomery's doing bad. If I have Montgomery, I'm staying true to him, and he's going to have better performances. But Herbert could really vulture some stuff from him.
I think Herbert's going to be more involved than he was last season, obviously,
sure, yeah.
and I think he'll be valuable. But not giving up on Monty, not trading for him either. Amari Cooper, you watched the game, right? Or you watched most of it? I watched a lot of that game.
You don't give up on him yet. Honestly, he ran great routes. They narrowly missed a touchdown. Jacoby overthrew him in the first drive.
Well, that's the issue, right?
Yeah. It should have been a 60-yard touchdown, easy walk in. And I think that's going to improve as Jacoby and him kind of work on their timing. I don't think he's going to be a 1,200-yard receiver, but I think ceiling, he might be able to get out there 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I'm worried about Brissett, so I guess I'm worried about him a little bit. But, yeah, the same thing. I have him on 2 teams. I'm not going to try to trade him away because, number 1, the value's not going to be there right now. And, number 2, I think he will wind up being lower end wide receiver too.
Yeah, Carolina's defense is better than people realize. Their defensive ends and defensive tackles, they're good.
Yeah,
they came at them pretty well. They're low key a good, solid. I think maybe top 12 defense.
That's lit.
Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna play this week against the Jets. I think they'll look better.
Well, I think
Jets defense looked pretty decent.
They look good, yeah.
I might be trading for Amari Cooper. I think all of these players that we're highlighting, I think he has the biggest bounce back through the entirety of the season. I think the talent is there. He's a very high floor, low ceiling player for fantasy.
Okay.
And who else is catching passes for the Browns?
That's fair.
Well, not only that, where you got him in drafts too. You'd be remiss to get rid of him. You're drafting him as your wide receiver 3, sometimes your first wide receiver on the bench. Where his value was, you definitely hang on to Amari Cooper and hope that Brissett can get his shit together.
All right, so from one wide out to another, we'll go to CeeDee Lamb without Dak Prescott and a guy that I didn't believe was as good as everybody was saying he was coming into the year.
You called the Cowboys offense.
What do we think about him? Does he bounce back? Is he gonna reach what his value was before the season? Obviously, you know where I stand on it.
Yeah, not with Cooper Rush. I don't think Cooper's as bad as everybody's making him out to be. And in the game last year, I think it was on Halloween, actually, he actually targeted CeeDee 11 times. And he targeted Amari Cooper 10 times.
Well, that's funny because he was targeted 11 times last night and caught 2.
Yeah, so that's the issue I don't think CeeDee is as evolved of a receiver as people believe. I know you believe different.
Yes.
But I think they traded the wrong person. I think they should have traded CeeDee and kept Amari, who's a great route runner and catches almost everything that comes to him.
100% I would disagree with this. If you look at CeeDee Lamb...
You're a piece of shit, is basically what he told me.
CeeDee Lamb is... an exquisite athlete. He is a very crisp route runner.
Smash your pass.
And I'm smashing all day long.
Wow.
Look at in the stats, you can extrapolate a lot in the stats. 2 catches, 11 targets. That's not on CeeDee Lamb. If you watch that game, a lot of those throws were not to CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
All right. I think he had a drop, but a lot of the stuff he was thrown to in double coverage, bad balls that didn't even give him an opportunity high point or to go after this and secure the catch.
But could that be because he's covered though too?
No, I don't think so. Because on a lot of these, he was open as well and was just not gotten the ball to by.
That's fair.
By
But
Dak.
so then, why are we counting on Cooper Rush to be better than Dak Prescott?
I think Cooper Rush is probably going to feel the need to force the ball to CD a little bit more than Dak would. You know, and I think therefore, if he's keying on Lamb, I think his accuracy towards Lamb is probably going to be a little bit better.
It's quite a leap.
Listen, I'm not worried about CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to have his huge games. I think his ceiling is still high. You know, Lamb was going in round 2, sometimes round 3. I feel much better about him, obviously, in round 3. Yeah. But if you got him in round 2, you're not selling CeeDee Lamb at this point.
You can anyway. Yeah,
he's bouncing back.
I think we're different a little bit. Like we're kind of given a nice spectrum here because I think of these 4 players, CeeDee Lamb is the player you're trading away. And this isn't biased here because I think CeeDee Lamb is a talented player. I think he's a good wide receiver, and the fact that he got targeted 11 times is a great selling point. I mean, who else is catching passes there? It's going to be a lot of the 11 targets, 2 receptions, in my opinion. If you have Michael Gallup, you should be excited because when he comes back, he's going to be playing a great role. I'm trading CeeDee Lamb if I have him.
But you know, that's my point. You bring up a great point. It's not that CeeDee's a terrible athlete. He's a great athlete. He does run a decent route.
Just bad situation, in my opinion.
Bad situation, and the reason why he was targeted 11 times, there's nobody else. There was him and Dalton Schultz.
Well, there's Dalton Schultz, Noah Brown. Noah Brown balled out.
Noah Brown missed on at least 2 passes that a seasoned receiver would have caught. And I don't even know, is Gallup fully healthy better than CeeDee Lamb?
No.
No.
It's tough because you're going off of projection with Lamb and you're going off of what Gallup's proved so far.
But listen,
so next week when Gallup's back,
Dallas got away from their game plan pretty early on too because Tony Pollard was supposed to have a larger role in this offense than he did. He only had 6 carries for 8 yards, which is not going to be his bread and butter, but he is there in the passing game, and they only targeted him twice, and he pulled in both hauls, obviously. You know, this offense just struggled to find its identity, and then with now the injury to Dak, they're going to continue for another week or 2 to struggle finding their identity. But I think in those 2 weeks, I think you're going to see this production from CeeDee Lamb where he's targeted a lot. And, you know, hopefully he just, you know, they don't miss him as many times.
All right.
So, yeah, with the injuries, like you were saying with Dak, right? Keep going.
What?
Where you wanted to lead that.
Oh, all right. So with that being said, you know, again, we're not selling any of our studs at this point, right? Let's not overreact. It's easy to do it, right? You know, I joked at the beginning of the episode that, you know, the season's over. It's very easy to overreact. I mean, I can rattle off a handful of guys here. I mean, Sutton, Pitts, Kamara, Devonta Smith. I mean, what the hell happened there? T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Eli Moore, Mooney, Tony, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler, for crying out loud. Aaron Jones and Adam Thielen. I mean, a lot of your studs went out and put up poo-poo games. Yeah. Do not overreact.
It's funny to me you said poo-poo there when most of the time you're cursing like a sailor.
So don't overreact.
Don't you talk bad about fantasy football.
Don't sell these guys on the waiver wire, which is what we're going to get to now. If you have some slots open for your waiver ads, we're going to give you a couple of good guys here. But again, don't listen to the panel. Don't go out and put CeeDee Lamb as your cut as you're searching for.
Cut him.
Don't cut
him.
Noah Brown.
Do it.
Nightmare.
All right, so that leads us into the waiver ads. You guys tell me who are some guys that really showed up in week 1 that, you know, intrigued you, and you might have to fill a hole. And
I'll be really quick.
Searching this guy
only because you already mentioned him. I think Khalil Herbert is somebody that you do want to grab. He impressed me not only in his rushing, also he didn't receive as much, but he did score a touchdown. I think he's going to have a decent part of the offense.
All right. I mean, there's a couple guys I wanted to talk about. I'm having a hard time trying to decide.
Well, to continue with running backs, if you wanted me to.
Yeah, go for it.
And I think this is kind of an obvious one, but I still think it needs to be stated. Elijah Mitchell is hurt. and Jeff Wilson is going to be the guy that's going to replace that production. He's probably the number one waiver wire ad, so I don't want to digress too much on it, so I don't think I'm going to.
But I will say, if you're in a, like one of our listeners on Sunday mentioned he was in a 16-team league. So if you're in a deep league like that, look at Marlon Mack. He was just signed by San Francisco. He ran great with the Texans in the preseason. They cut him because they wanted to go with their rookies. But I think he's got some life left.
So that's a great segue, real quick, for my pick here. And when Phil and I went live Sunday morning, if you were watching, I did hesitate our viewers in putting all their trust into Dameon Pierce only because Houston cut Marlon Mack. And I said that guy that was going to throw the wrench into the spokes was Rex Burkhead. And he did. Rex Burkhead led the team in carries that game. He led the team in yards, and he's a vulture at the goal line. Yeah, so Rex Burkhead is somebody that you can probably get dirt cheap off of the waiver wire, and he will be a big part of this offense going forward.
Well, this is running back heavy today because I'm going to highlight two guys. I'm going to talk about one really quick. I'll just mention Jaylen Warren with Pittsburgh. He was pretty, I don't know how much you guys watch. He was pretty impressive preseason. I do think that he's going to get more opportunities going forward. Harris did say he's definitely playing week 2, but I don't know that he's going to have the workload that we thought he was going to have initially. And Warren's talented. But I'll move on to the game that I watched, which was Giants-Titans, which I paid most attention to, and Dontrell Hilliard. I mean, he looked good. He only had 2 carries. He had, I think, 4 targets, brought in 3. But he made a few big plays with those targets. Yeah. And like we said earlier, they don't have a lot going on as far as targets. And I think off of that showing, I think he will get more opportunities. So if you're looking for a guy to put on the bench who maybe is going to become valuable later on in the season, get into your flex spot, I think he'll be in line to get around 3 to 4 catches a game, maybe turn 1 or 2 of those into 15, 20, get you 10 points, maybe find his way to the end zone here and there.
And if King Henry goes down, he's instant ad.
Yeah, I have an honorable mention if we want to rip them off.
Yeah,
I think I was wrong on Julio Jones. I think Tom Brady is going to target him a lot more than I expected, and he's going to play an integral part in this offense. And that's a player that I'm looking to add as well.
But now, is that only because Godwin is still not Godwin, or no?
No,
Julio. Godwin was playing. He looked good.
If you watch that game, Julio turned back the clock, man. It looked fantastic.
He looked quick.
Julio was beating everybody to the corners on the out routes, and when he got the ball in his hands, he looked every bit as dynamic as he was early in his career. Yeah. I loved it, man. I loved watching him.
Tom Brady's going to target him like he did AB.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any others?
No.
Geno Smith. Let's throw it out there. You need a shit quarter. You have a shit quarterback, or you get somebody like Dak. Say you drafted Trey Lance. You were in that boat where you went after him for your QB1, and then you ended up with Mitch Trubisky as your backup. Geno Smith might be somebody you want to take a look at on the waiver wire.
I'll mention one more guy just because we were talking about Kadarius Toney earlier. Like Dable said that the wide receivers are earning their spot. Now, this guy played a lot in the preseason, Rissy James, and especially with Wandale going out, they said he'll probably be back next week. But even that being there, he ran a lot of routes, caught 5 balls, about 60 yards. I think he'll be involved, and he obviously earned the snap. So he's somebody to keep an eye on who might be valuable if you can stash him.
Okay, so I'll throw one more too. Then Donovan Peoples-Jones for the Browns. 11 targets, 6 receptions, 60 yards, and actually came up with, when they needed a first down, he got the call. It wasn't Amari Cooper. Amari was being doubled quite a bit, but Donovan is developing into a decent receiver.
Well, since we're going to go home, I'll go one more too. Dante Pettis. No, I'm just kidding.
Pettis are good, man.
One play, 1 catch, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Go get him on your waiver wire.
Hey, when Pettis came into the league, I liked him.
So did I. So did San Fran.
So I'll ask a Bears fan because you might have more insight. Are you fading Cole Kmet? Is he a player that you drafted that you might not have on your team?
No, he's another guy that do not worry about him. He'll get his target share.
Just
my only fear about Cole Kmet, because that's a great question, and I would say you're right. I think he's one of the most talented tight ends in the league.
We've been heaing
Yeah.
that Cole Kmet's going to be good.
But it's the quarterback play, and it's,
and that's my fear.
and before this, it was coaching. It was it was Nagy. And Nagy's
But
offense.
Ohio State never worked in their tight ends. It's one of my biggest complaints about them as a coaching staff.
Yeah, you hate that.
Is they never work in their tight ends. So
You always work in your
Justin
tight
is
ends,
not Justin is not used to looking at his tight ends
for tight ends. Yeah.
For tight ends.
I love looking at the tight end.
All right.
All right, so let's get to our picks segment. And
Oh, we
man,
still have that.
yeah.
Oh, holy
we're actually doing good on time.
Oh,
even
really?
though, yeah, we are.
Oh, good.
Are we?
Yeah, we are. As long as we keep this,
we're
relatively
not
good. No,
organized.
we're doing good. We actually are doing well.
Hope you.
I'm going to cut
hope
out
you're in your
about 5 minutes of this.
Hope
but-
you're in your pajamas and you've got a bottle of wine.
No, we're good. I mean, actually, last week
pulling an all nighter.
we're on pace to be shorter than last week.
It is
so.
your anniversary.
Dataversary. I mean,
Dataversary. Wow.
How old are you, huh?
15.
Dataversary.
You got a promise ring too?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so it's a little bit different because I thought it was your anniversary.
No, it's just a dataversary.
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 More like lame.
That's why he's here.
lame
I don't
anniversary.
know my dataversary.
It signifies the first
can
night
tell
that
you.
I chloroformed her and took her back to my apartment.
Do you have a
Wow.
a
kissiversary?
lot of truth in there. So you don't remember your dataversary?
Nah.
No, I don't either.
Did you expect me to?
I kind of did because you seem like a sentimental guy.
You seem like a sensitive dude.
Yeah, you're a sensitive dude. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in tune, but
With your
sentimental,
emotional
I don't
side?
know, man.
I remember my first kiss with Trish, but I don't remember the date.
He's saying.
I remember
he's
my
saying
first kiss.
He feels like you got some bitch
My
assness in
first
you.
kiss went a little like this.
Chloroform.
You guys don't know that song? You guys don't know that song? You don't know that song?
No.
You don't know that song? Oh, you don't know the reference? You don't know the reference?
I don't know that.
Nope.
Okay.
Let it out, man.
Ratio.
All right, so before we get into making our picks, we're gonna do a quick recap. But I will say, we have decided on punishments.
Yes.
You weren't here,
You
but
weren't
what
here,
I
but-
texted in the chat, we're running with it. So whoever has the worst score each week is going to have to reveal either an embarrassing secret about themselves or just something embarrassing about themselves
Or a beauty mark.
or an embarrassing story. I mean, whatever. I mean, get
Yeah.
creative.
Okay.
Just something that you generally don't want people to know, like that you just don't. Stuff I haven't told you guys.
It's good. It's good
obviously.
incentive. Yeah, it's good incentive.
So that's each week, and then at the end of the season, whoever has the overall least points, because we're scoring by points now, right? Not-
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Will have to recreate a music video, and what we will do is the panel will choose 3 songs.
This is a big production.
3 songs. It's not going to be 3 songs. The loser will pick one of the 3.
Are we picking the songs now?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, because
Depends
I
on the
think it
person.
should. Yeah, but I said the one ground rule I
What does
have
that say about
is
it?
that it needs to be, since we're all guys, I want it to be a guy art. I don't want anybody to have to dress up in a dress
Fair.
or a skirt or anything like that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
stick
So
to
girls want to have fun is off
What
the
about
table.
if
Yeah.
What about if it's a guy that dresses in girls' clothes?
Why are you looking directly at me?
Well,
Wow,
I am wearing a
thoughts.
headband. Literally right now.
are you wearing panties?
Well, I mean, if
Just
we're
your
talking
wife.
about like Prince or something,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm
so-
I am so sorry.
It's raining men still in play.
no. All right,
You put me
so-
in a dark corner there.
But you
man.
know what I'm saying? Let's keep it above boards.
Yes.
It's gonna be funny enough seeing Rocky, recreate a video, so that'll be great.
Yes.
And that'll be the punishment.
If I lose, that will be very funny.
Yes, it will. I will make it very
Yeah.
funny.
It actually sounds like incentive for Rocky to now lose because we all know how much he loves to
No.
sing on the show.
No,
Do Harry Styles?
it's really funny. I like to sing on the show, but I will never karaoke. Never. I'll never get in front of people.
You said
and
that
karaoke.
before, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Because that just feels very. I'm just out there.
You feel like
bearing,
you-
bearing your soul.
Yeah, I'm out there.
You'll let your freak flag fly a little
I'm
bit.
out there and I'm loving it.
You might show a little more than you want. All right. But
All right.
Mark, you did.
All right, so here we go.
Okay,
We tallied it up again. You can find all of our picks as well as the running total for the season on the Chalkboard app, and that is in our Pod Picks channel on Chalkboard.
Guys on Sports.
Guys on Sports. All right, so week 1 we had Phil took it home with 5 points. He got both his dog and his lock and one of his other picks for 5. Both Rocky and Zach nailed their dog and their locks and lost their other 2 picks. And I am bringing up the rear and nailed just my dog.
Wow, that's freaky.
Yeah, don't.
Mark nailed the dog again.
Out of context clip right there.
Oh man. So
Again.
you have
right.
to give us something embarrassing, please.
All right, so this is definitely this still sticks with me to this day.
Look into the camera.
It's ninth grade. It's ninth grade. We're all going through
Ninth
changes.
grade.
We're going through changes.
Oh no.
I had to give a presentation in chemistry class on fluorine.
Oh no.
And much like what happens to Phil weekly on this show,
This is about you. This is about you.
my voice just did not. I was not able to deliver. I'm going through the changes.
Fluoride.
I'm getting hair in places where I wasn't expecting it. And as I'm giving this speech on fluoride in front of my entire class, including many of the cute girls in that grade, he talked about fluorine for about 15 minutes like this.
No way. The whole thing.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. It was. I mean, after that, got the nickname Shaggy. It was. Yeah.
Wow, it's tough.
Did you get a date to the school dance?
It was bad. I mean, there was definitely some pity, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's where the name of the game started for Mark. It's pity.
Wow. Well, thank you
It
for
was-
that, man.
Yes, thank you for opening.
Thank you
your
for
soul.
bearing soul.
Man, that was that was opening
Snaps.
Pandora's box right there.
All right, so let's get into
Pandora
our picks
was
this
the
week.
date of his.
So we went this way last week. We'll
Yeah.
go this way this week,
Okay.
and I'll go last. So we'll save our locks for later.
Yes.
Wait,
the
why?
other later locks for later
But why do you get to go last though?
because I had to transition to the locks
Okay.
and hit the sounder and all that stuff.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean they're already tallied the picks, so I can't change them. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's. Yeah.
You want me to go first?
no,
I'll
I
go
was
first.
thinking out
Hey,
loud.
you want me to go first? I'll go first.
I
man.
am just worried I'm gonna forget the order as we do
Hey,
this.
we're just gonna go Rocky to you.
I feel like we're just
Okay.
too complicated.
Well,
no, that's fine. That's
Sounds
fine.
like
is
Zach
this-
has another
how is-
gear to grind here.
How is this complicated?
Okay, so let me go, right? So one of my games that I'm choosing is going to be,
All three.
Oh, you
Give
got-
us three except for your lock.
okay. So my first game
No,
is,
is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and let us know what your dog is when you do it.
we're very confused. My first game is,
Well, hold on, don't. I'm just fucking with you.
we're going to cut this out, right? Yeah, see.
No, we're not cutting it out. We're gonna leave it in.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my dog. That was a lot better than last week. And I'm going with the Jags +4 over the Colts.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Wait, that's your dog?
Yeah.
That's not what you told me earlier, but we'll switch it. No problem.
What did I tell you my dog was?
You told me that your dog was Houston +10.
It's too
Oh,
late.
you know what? You are right.
No, it's too late. You said it
No,
on
he
air.
can. He can.
All right.
Yeah, no, you are right. You are
All right.
right. So my dog is
He's old.
Houston +10 over the
All
Broncos.
right, so we need to bark again though. We have to redo this.
It's uncomfortable to hear you bark and to bark. It's uncomfortable. My other two games are going to be the Browns -6 over the Jets, and I'll be at that game looking at the beauty of the elf.
Nice.
And then my other game would be the Jags +4 over the Colts.
All right.
Alrighty, go ahead, Mark.
All right. I'm going to start off with, God, I actually have a bunch of dogs, but so I'm going to take, this is not my dog of the week, but I have Minnesota +2.5.
Okay.
I like Chicago with the 10 points there, so I'm going to go
That's
Chicago.
a lot of points.
Who did Chicago play in again?
Chicago's playing
The Packers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Playing their daddy?
Yeah.
Shut.
I think White Jesus is going to
filthy
hit
mouth.
the ayahuasca and
White
come out
Jesus?
blazing. He's going to come out blazing.
I tell you what, if they can get him out of that
God-
cave in Costa
God
Rica
level.
for this game, God bless them. And then my dog. take them
That's the Shaggy reference there.
take them Seahawks +10.
Okay.
All right,
Wow.
all right, yeah.
I like that. Go ahead, Zach.
All right, my turn. I'm gonna go with the Bengals -8.5 against the Cowgirls. I'm gonna go with my dog of the week. I'm gonna go with Wentz and those Commanders +2.5 against the Lions. I think it's a close one.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna throw in a nice little 10-point game because points are looking good on the Titans game against the Bills.
Interesting. Okay, so I'll go with mine here. I'm going to start with my dog, which is the Jaguars +4.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So we disagree.
Yeah. No, well, no.
Well, no,
they
you
didn't-
No, we agree. Yeah,
we
yes,
agree.
Not on the
agree. Yeah,
points.
yeah, yeah.
It's getting late, huh? All right.
I haven't had my coffee, man.
Sounds getting real low.
Sundowners.
Sun's getting low. All right. My next one, I am taking the Rams to bounce back and cover 10.5 points. And then my third pick is going to be the Bengals versus those cow bitches, minus 8.5 points.
There it is.
We are unified in our hatred of the Cowboys.
Yeah, screw the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But now it's time for my favorite drop, which is...
I missed the laugh coming in, though. I did.
Yeah.
You missed the
You gotta
laugh.
throw a chuckle on there at the beginning.
You want me to do that again?
No,
No,
that's
man,
perfect.
dude, that
Next
was
Okay, next week. Perfect.
that was fire. That was good.
Perfect.
That was fire, bro.
Love
Lit.
saying it. Fuck.
All right.
All right, so should I just get it to my lock, I guess,
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I did it? All right, so I'm taking those dogs, those dirty dogs of Cleveland, to cover 6 points against those dirty Jets. I mean, you're in Cleveland, the dog pound's there. That defense is, I mean, Myles Garrett's going to be on Flacco's ass. And I think the Jets defense is pretty decent, but I don't think they're going to be able to score points. I think in the second half, this gets out of hand.
Live question for you guys. Should we not do the explanation in the voice, but should we pick our pick in the voice? Would that be kind of funny?
Ooh, you want to try?
I mean, now I do.
Okay, so
So I guess just say you're just this.
okay.
Yeah, just the pick again.
Browns minus 6.
I mean, if we like it, we like it. If not,
So Ben, when it's your turn, you just got to say it, and then I'll
Yeah.
shut it off. Ready? You go.
I don't.
Steelers plus 1.
I like it. Oh, I'm gonna explain it now.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how they're the underdog here. The Patriots didn't prove much, and the Steelers are a Mike Tomlin coach team.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
Lock in those Buccaneers minus 2.5.
And,
Like a bunch of fucking kids just laughing at me.
I'm giggling. Yeah,
it's fantastic. So I like Tampa Bay. They look good. Saints narrowly pulled that game out. I don't think the Saints have found their identity yet. I do like I like Tommy B to spread the ball around here
Tommy
and win this
Bones.
by a field goal.
All right, Rocky. What about you?
Pittsburgh Steelers locking it in.
you're not prepared.
You gotta stop laughing.
I felt good about that one. But, if you guys don't like it, I can work on it.
We
No,
liked
it's
it. I
good.
was laughing.
I agree with what you're saying. I think that the Steelers honestly looked bad offensively and won the game. I don't think they'll look as bad again.
On the road.
Yeah, on the road. I think they'll look better this week. I like the running back situation with I don't think Najee should play, but whatever. I still think they're going to look better. I think they're going to win.
Fair. I think we did pretty good last week. I actually like you guys' picks this week. I was hoping you guys took some of the other ones I thought were really bad, but you
There's a
didn't.
lot of really tough games this week.
It
to
is.
pick.
It
There
is.
is.
Yeah.
This is not a week to bet.
There's 3 games with a
Joey's.
10-point spread, man.
4.
Hold on. Oh, there's 4 with 10 points.
Yeah, there's
I
4.
missed
Four
one.
for four.
There's 3
Wow.
with 10, 1 with 10.5, which is the one with the Rams one I took.
Oh yeah, I'd missed that one.
All right, man. Well, it was an interesting week. I can't wait for week 2 to get started. Thursday, we got a doubleheader Monday night. If you're this far into the show, please like
the
and
love of
subscribe.
God.
Hit the notification bell. Find us on all our socials. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm always
TikTok.
forgetting on TikTok,
And
the biggest
Chalkboard.
one. And on Chalkboard. I was going to get to
Chalkboard.
Chalkboard. Please go to Chalkboard. Join our board. You got to download the Chalkboard app in the Apple Store. You go there, you find Guys on Sports. Join the community. Hop on in. Get your fantasy cheat sheets. Get your picks. And have a good old time. Listen, we're going to be there, and we appreciate you guys watching. We love you.
And
Peace.
also one more thing,
Oh,
Guys on Draft. Yeah, we got it. Just go to it. Go to our other show. It's funny. You always forget that part. That's an important.
it's not up there.
But I didn't write. You wrote that.
Well, you're sitting here saying, hey, make sure you put Guys on Draft there.
I think that repetition, works.
We're bad at plugging things.
Yeah, Guys on Draft. Funny show.
Go watch it.
Go watch it.